What's up everyone, this is Katelyn here, and today y'all are going to see me do a literature review. This is everything that I do in order to make this process as simple as possible. If I were to do it by hand, I would print the article myself, underline everything that I would deem important, and then on that loose leaf paper I will go ahead and write out my notes. So this is my binder full of articles that I've read. At the top, I put whether or not I've taken notes and added it to Endnote. And here are all of the notes that I take as I read. One huge initial tip that I will give you is to make sure that you are 100% comfortable. You are not in a position where you're going to fall asleep, and you have snacks, drinks in a nice lit area. And I personally listen to film scores as I read articles. Another thing that I personally do is read for fun. So I read books to kind of get me in the mindset of reading, because you have to have that active reading under your belt to get through some articles. So let's go. Alright, so you guys are seeing me in real time use the Inkodo app on my Surface Book 2 to take notes. So I use two different highlighter colors. One is something that's super important. So right now these are just introducing the background problem. And then the other color differentiates something that's important to something that is super important, like a result or the objective and purpose. I really like using two different colors to give myself some color contrast, since I'll be reading this on an actual screen for quite some time. So the first thing that I look for, especially in the introduction section, is just the problem itself. What are the authors trying to tell me is an issue, and the gaps within the literature that's already out. And the most important part is, of course, the purpose and the objective. Sometimes within the introduction, you'll find that the authors will talk about like how the article is set up or their proposed solution prior to getting into the methods, which is really something that I like to read. It saves a lot of time and it helps prepare me if this is going to be a super technical paper. This is exactly where they say verbatim, like, the purpose of this study is to X, Y, and Z. So I'll switch colors here and then write notes on what I just read. Everyone is different when they take notes for articles. That should definitely be said, because I'm someone who has to take notes as I go. Other people will read section by section and take notes after each section. Others will read the entire article, go back, kind of reread it again, but take notes or highlight important parts that they want to use for their research or for their classes. When you are reading an article, you want to make sure that it has everything to do with what you need it to do for you. Meaning, when you're doing a literature search, you want to make sure that if it's for class, you're staying within the parameters that were given to you. But if it's for your research, you want to make sure you understand your research question, or if it's the exploratory phase like I'm in, you want to make sure that it deals with some topics that are of interest to you. It could be the disease state, it could be some sort of technology, it could be the use of machine learning, it could be anything, but you want to make sure that it is relevant in some way, shape, or form to the research that you're conducting or to your class. Whatever the reason is, just make sure that you have those around you. You don't want to deviate from whatever is required or whatever you're looking at. The other reason why I take detailed notes like this is because I don't want to have to go through articles and kind of remember, or go through multiple files to kind of pull up some sort of notes. I liked having them right in front of my face so I can look at the keywords that I've written, look at the notes that I take at the back, so I'm not spending too much time trying to recall the details of an article or things that I've pulled away from it. The citation manager that I use for all of my articles is Endnote. It works really well and it has word integration, so it's super seamless. I literally just type in the author's name and everything pops up. I just make sure to check Endnote before I read an article that I've read before. It gets a little difficult once you get past a certain number of articles for a literature search in a doctoral or graduate school program, just because once you get more focused on your topic, there's not as many articles dealing with a similar topic, so you'll notice you'll have to just go in a roundabout way trying to fit pieces together to make sense. So here I'm just writing my notes on the article overall, things that I need to take away or things that I need to do. I also highlighted some references that are relevant to my topic as of now that I may want to look into, just to see if it has any help for me to develop any part of my research experiment as a whole.